crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every one of you. Holy moly, the market is doing what the market does. Wow. What an exciting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. Bitcoin is doing this thing, so is Ethereum. We'll get into the market because, as we all know, the market is doing what the market does. Interesting news coming out of the Ron Hammond camp. We're going to share what's going on in DC in reference to crypto. We'll get into that. And the great state of Texas. Yeah, getting into the big time crypto. I'm absolutely loving the moves that they're looking to do there. And Trevinsky shared that the SEC came out with another crazy proposal. Go figure. Hashtag Gary Gensler, excuse me, is not your friend. All right, guys. So listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. Let's do it. The Bitcoin dominance is at 40.4%. That's not great for alts currently. Bitcoin is at 47,447%. It's up 14, almost 15% on the 7-day. Ethereum is at $3,361, up 17% on the 7-day. XRP was as high as 89. It's at 87.7 currently. Very, very cool. 87 cents. A lot of double-figure greens in the market. Look at Cardano up 38%. At $1.21, Solana up 24% at $110. Polkadot 22% up on the 7-day at $22, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. Even Dogecoin is up 25% on the 7-day at just about 15 cents. Shiba Inu, let's go. Shiba Inu is up it's up 21% on the 7-day at 28,040 Satoshis. What else we got for the market? Double figure green. Kronos is up 21%, 49 cents. That's awesome. Let's see what else. Near Protocol's up 24% at $13. That's great. Great to see. Bitcoin Cash $377. Cool. Up 15%. Ethereum Classic is up 22% on the 7-day, almost 23% at $47. 11%. So that is the market again, guys, doing what the market does. Great to see that. Come on, Elron, let's get up to that 300. EGLD, let's get up to $300, my friends. Let's see that. Phantom's up 14.9% at $1.45. That is great to see. EOS up 33%. Love it. So again, guys, the market is doing what the market does. Let me share this about my home state before I forget to share it like I did last time. Is Austin the next U.S. crypto hub? Officials approve blockchain resolution. The city of Austin gears up to become America's next crypto hotspot by passing two resolutions focused on cryptocurrency and blockchain innovation. Hello, let's go. Let's go. Love it. That is great to hear. Absolutely great to hear that, man. I'm excited about that. That was some great news. I wanted to make sure I shared it with you guys. Where's Ron Hammond? Let's go over some Ron Hammond news, and then we go over this crazy madness with the SEC that Jake Trevinsky shares with us. So Ron Hammond, shout out to you, my friend. Thanks for keeping the crypto community updated. It says this week in Congress and crypto, lots going on in DC. But as it relates to crypto, the hearing on benefits / risk of a central bank digital currency in the House has been delayed. Well, that sucks. That's not great news. However, this issue has rapidly evolved. In terms of perception on the Hill. Did you mean to say evolved? I'm not sure. Here's the latest. The CBDC issue is fairly unique and has shifted quite a lot in terms of how members of Congress view the risk and benefits, given many of the recent international developments. This is what I was listening to earlier today. Someone said that the whole Russian-Ukraine thing taking place has really got other nations strongly favoring crypto and crypto innovation. Interesting. This recap is more to show what we're hearing from members and staff and our discussion with them now. CBDCs have gotten quite a share of hearings over the past 2 years. There have been multiple hearings in both Senate and the House, Senate Banking and House Financial Services, even before the Boston Fed released its paper on the topic in February of this year, after several months of delays. Last year, we saw Republicans generally hold back in terms of making a dedicated position on the CBDC as they waited for the paper's release. But privacy preservation was a key point. Additionally, they were concerned about America's competitiveness against China's digital yuan. For the Democrats, last year, many were in fact-finding mode. But others saw the benefit for the progressive goals of Fed accounts and postal banking. Yeah, I remember the postal banking. Other positives included helping the underbanked, as well as delivering services like payment relief in a shorter and more direct way. The largest elephant in the room was the role of stablecoins. Early in 2021, there were many members who believed there could only be stablecoins or CBDCs, and that one would be adopted as the standard and the other would fail. That has changed, and many believe both can exist, which is awesome. That's the goal. We want more options, not less options. Recent events, though, have drastically shifted the policy landscape. First, Chair Powell has testified multiple times that Congress would need to first pass legislation to give the Fed authority to create a CBDC. Legislation, even with common goals, can take a while. Interesting. Second is sanctions. The recent invasion of Ukraine has members hyper-focused on ways Russia will try to evade. Many see a CBDC potentially as a way to evade sanctions in the future. Interesting. But these opinions are still forming. If it were China, it would be a different conversation. Third is Canada and the truckers. Many Republicans saw the government's move to restrict bank accounts access to the truckers as a massive government overreach, regardless if they agree with the positions or not. Many Republicans are now ringing the alarm to oppose the United States CBDC entirely. Wow, interesting. Interesting. The Democrats aren't fully sold on the CBDC still across the board. You'll notice the House hearing this week was titled Risk and Benefits to a CBDC, with Republicans making this more partisan at the moment. The question is, will Congress have the ability to unite and pass a CBDC bill? Which finally brings us to the executive order from the Biden administration. There was a heavy emphasis on the further study and potential development of a CBDC. The executive order raises that a CBDC is a national security issue and should protect American interests. Unclear the role of Congress given the EO, there have already been extensive studies on the topic and still no clear path forward in Congress approving a CBDC. Congress is doing due diligence researching the issues, but the question remains if this will lead to action. I don't think so. Given the various political landmines, that's me saying that, given the various political landmines on the topics of CBDCs, this is one reason we are seeing a push from the banking committees to focus on stable coins. With so many development members on both sides agree, stable coins need proper guardrails as the CBDC conversation continues. So that is it there. Of course, TAIG was hoping to get Ron Hammond to respond to something, but he did not. So that is the latest and greatest coming out of Congress. Shout out to Ron Hammond for sharing that with us all. And now Jake Trevinsky shares something coming out of the SEC, and it's just, what a mess, what a mess, what a mess coming from the chair. The SEC, just a mess. I mean, you know, I've said time and time again, hashtag Gary Gensler's not your friend. I put it on Twitter all the time. This is just not great. This is just not great at all. All right, so let's look at this from Jake Trevinsky. And I know we've been on him and some other people from the Blockchain Association for not picking up anything that's in relation to the SEC versus Ripple case or ETHgate. So the SEC just proposed a rule that would expand the definition of regulated dealers to include people who employ passive market making strategies, DeFi, that have the effect of providing liquidity to others. It's 200 pages, but doesn't say DeFi even once. So this is something that we definitely want to get out, because they're trying to come out of DeFi. And the reason why they want to come out of DeFi, it's not they, it's Gary Gensler, is because this is one of the biggest threats to the boys at Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. Let us, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled, right? This is one of the DeFi, you and I, ability to be able to be a lender of our assets and be able to borrow without having to go inside their bank and sit on the other side of a desk with their people that they put in position to see whether or not you can buy their financial product and if you qualify for their money. And in DeFi, you don't have to put up with that madness. And so I think it's interesting that they're talking about DeFi and they're covering it in this 200 pages long proposal. Don't mention the word DeFi. It's a slick, underhanded, dirty dog move by hashtag Gary Gensler is not your friends. Unbelievable. It's 200 pages, but it doesn't say DeFi even once. This comes shortly after the SEC proposed a different rule that would expand the definition of regulated alternative trading systems to include operators of communication protocol systems. You see the sneaky alternative trading systems. You see the sneaky wording, communication protocol systems. Again, sneaky wording. That rule was 600 pages, but didn't say DeFi even once either. Unfortunately, the SEC continues to introduce massive confusion and uncertainty into the very same markets it seeks to regulate. In a healthy rulemaking process, we wouldn't have to guess at the SEC's intent or its underlying goals. We don't have to guess at what their intent is either currently. This is far from a healthy rulemaking process. TIG responded to this and said, what are your thoughts on the SEC being the ones that come up with the decentralized narrative to make ETH, its thing here? Yeah, remember that. Vaguely, Charles Gasparani, Steve Narovich architected the Ethereum setup as a utility token and sought out Joe Grunfuss on the matter back in 2015. A lot to read into here. So Steve, I asked Steve, question, if you can answer the architected the ETH narrative via Grunfuss as the authority, ex-SEC guy. I've read the Perkins memo, the J. Clayton, 49 pages. When and where does the actual nexus for decentralization become clear? The Hammond speech wasn't. Memo is BS. Why did he gloss that? And Steve, we all remember reading this. The SEC came up with a decentralized narrative. The SEC came up with the decentralization narrative. What do you think they got that from? I came up with the concept of utility as a primary factor and hence called it the utility token. In my opinion, they can't get around the product narrative. They ignored it and focused on decentralization vaguely as a Howie prong. It's not a great look. Again, I will hashtag Gary Gensler is not friend. And put that out there. So yeah, they're trying to be sneaky in the wording, trying to come after DeFi in any way that they can. Again, because it gives you, DeFi gives you an opportunity to not have to deal with JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Cities, and the Chases of the world, where you and I can participate freely in DeFi and be both a lender and a borrower, provide liquidity or not provide liquidity, earn interest on your assets that you hold or not, be able to borrow against the assets that you hold without having to be beholden to Chase, Citi, freaking JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. Ultimately, that's the deal, guys. And I hope you guys recognize it. And I hope you take a chance, take a moment to consider looking into DeFi and the options that it affords you. I hope you consider that. If you want to start out with Celsius, you can start out there. I love the platform. It is a great way to get a sense of being able to earn interest on the assets that you hold, to be treated like the 1% and get yourself a 1% loan, okay? And also lend your assets so that you can get interest on those. And you can also be a borrower as well. In addition to that, you can participate in DeFi by way of Celsius X, which is really, really cool. All right, guys, look, I'm going to end this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I are already winning. Have a great rest of the day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.